The 3:30 p.m. meeting of the Bakersfield City Council is now in session.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to call to order the 3:30 City Council meeting of April 10th, 2024. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Go.
Here.
Vice Mayor Gonzalez.
Here.
Councilmember Arias.
Here.
Councilmember Weir. Councilmember Smith.
I am here.
Councilmember Freeman.
Here.
Councilmember Gray. Here. And Councilmember Kaur.
Thank you. In keeping with Council's new resolution, public statements are now received at different times depending on the item. I will call on the city clerk to call for public statements at the appropriate time, so please listen carefully for the correct time to speak. If you wish to make a public statement, please fill out a public speaker card and place it in the box that's right there on the counter. We ask that you mark whether you're here to speak on an item listed on today's agenda or on a matter not on the agenda. Speakers who do not identify a specific agenda item will be presumed speakers for the non-agenda portion of the public statements. If you're here to speak on an item not listed on the meeting agenda, you will be called first to speak. Statements are given a 2-minute time limit per speaker, 20 minutes total for all non-agenda item public statements. If you're here to speak on an item listed on the agenda, I will call for you at the appropriate time, so please listen carefully. If public statements become disruptive, I will have to clear the chambers to regain order of the meeting. And I have to clear the chamber, to regain order of the meeting. You will be called in one at a time to provide your public statement when your item is called. Everyone in attendance is expected to adhere to the rules of decorum established by resolution of the City Council. Failure to abide by the city's rules of decorum, including any disruptive behavior that interferes with our ability to have an orderly and efficient meeting, prevents the City Council from conducting the business of the city. Consider this a first warning to everyone in attendance that conduct that disrupts this meeting may result in expulsion and/or the chamber being cleared. Behavior that disrupts the meeting includes repetitive statements, shouting, interrupting staff or presenters during the meeting, speaking out of turn, outbursts from the audience, and surpassing the 2-minute time limit. Madam Clerk, do we have any public speakers regarding items not listed on the agenda?
Mayor Go, we've received 2 speaker cards regarding items not listed on tonight's agenda. The first public speaker is Roman Matero.
Welcome. Welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Is it, okay, sorry. Hello, yes, my name is Roman Matera. I've lived in Bakersfield on and off for about 20 years of my life. A lot of you might be familiar with me because I've been trying to show up to committee meetings. And I actually want to talk about an issue that pertains to a lot of the critical things I talk about in those prior committee meetings. A lot of the time I focus on accessibility for low-income residents, addressing the housing crisis, addressing unemployment, et cetera, a lot of things. But to be laser specific, there's a major piece of news that I'm sure you're all already aware of. It's that the 99-cent store is actually going to go bankrupt, and I believe they've already declared bankruptcy, if I remember correctly. And with it, if I had to guess, I bet that means that they're going to be closing down a lot of their stores, and we're going to be seeing a lot of empty buildings and unused lots of land. My basis for this is looking at the Bed Bath & Beyond on Stockdale in California, which, despite being bankrupt for, I think, a couple years now, is still there. And I think that this is really unfortunate. This land is in a perfect position to address the needs of the residents who we should be caring about the most. If we took the Bed Bath & Beyond and converted it into an apartment or some kind of mixed-use zoning thing, we could resolve this inefficiency. And right now, as the 99-cent store is closing and it's likely looking to sell off its land and its buildings, this is an amazing opportunity for the city of Bakersfield to act. So this is what I would call for. I would call for the city to look into acquiring these lots of land, to look into developing this land either directly or in some form of a partnership. And then, ideally with mixed-use principles in mind, use it to increase the supply of housing and maybe develop some businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matera. Next speaker, please.
Paul Linfesti, followed by Michael Turnipseed.
Hi, Paul
Welcome.
Infesti. I am in Ward 1. There's a lot of tension that's been building up at the meetings now, and I understand some of the frustrations that a lot of people have. I would like to offer some suggestions as possibly what could help simmer down things. For example, on the speaker minutes, sometimes people get up and through no fault of their own, they are told they only have like 17 seconds, 20 seconds left to talk on any subject that they've come prepared for a full 2-minute to. I think there needs to be a little bit more flexibility. Maybe that could be the last speaker to come up, but it would only be fair, in my opinion, if they get the full 2 minutes that they prepared to. It's hard to all of a sudden think about what you're going to say and try to cut it down. And it's a practice that I see at all the other meetings I go to in Bakersfield. And believe me, I go to a lot of them, including the high school district and the Board of Supervisors as of yesterday. And another problem is when it's counted as 20 minutes for one topic, meaning non-agenda items, that can be problematic when you have a lot of people might have other things they have to speak about except for just one topic, but sometimes one topic occupies the entire time given to that non-agenda item section. And that means you could perceivably go several months trying to get a chance to talk about something that hasn't been spoken about before, and then no one hears about it for a few months. So those are just some things I just think that maybe we could think about how to be a little more flexible while keeping to the idea of not spending all night hearing public comments. So anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Linfesti. Next speaker, please.
Michael Turnipseed.
Welcome.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, ditto the previous speaker. I am Michael Turnipseed. I represent the Kern County Taxpayers Association. I will be addressing 3 items on the 5:15 agenda. Item 7C-1. Every speaker at every hearing has spoken against this proposal. Having an ordinance that allows developers to decide whatever parking they want, including none, is asking for trouble down the road. To solve this issue, the council needs to rewrite, clarify existing provisions that allow a developer to apply for a waiver of any and all parking makes sense for his particular or her project. The planning director makes this decision. This gives the public protection they need from ill-conceived projects. Kern Tax respectfully asks the council to delay the vote and address the pitfalls of this proposal. Items 7D, 5, and 6. History has shown that areas in the Consolidated Maintenance District receive vastly superior service to areas that are not in the district. The council must address these inequalities across the entire city, whether in the district or not. Item 7G-1. This acceptance of the acceptance of the audit reports from 2021-2022 fiscal year. The annual comprehensive audit financial report, the CAFR, for 2022 is over a year late. Your CAFR for 23 is now over a month late. Kern Tax wants to go on the record. This lack of responsibility and accountability, really, we can't tolerate this. As we come, we support Measure N. We've been asked to help us support some things down the road. Fiscal accountability is number uno. John Maxwell said, leadership is taking responsibility while others are making excuses. Gene Bedley said, responsibility finds a way, irresponsibility makes excuses. And finally, George Washington said, it's better to offer no excuse than a bad one. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today.
Thank you, Mr. Turnipseed. Madam Clerk, are there any others in this category?
We have not received any other speaker cards for non-agenda public statements.
Thank you. And how about for agenda items? Any public speaker cards?
Madam Mayor, we have not received any public speaker cards for agenda items.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Closed session item 4A, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 regarding the following 3 matters. I apologize, Mayor. I need to pull up my agenda. Jane Doe versus City of Bakersfield. Blas Para by and through his guardian ad litem, Joseph Etienne versus City of Bakersfield, et al. And Elton Lee Gordon versus City of Bakersfield, et al. And item 4B, conference with legal counsel, potential litigation, closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, 1 matter.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
We're adjourned to closed session. Reconvening the 3:30 City Council meeting. Madam City Attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. We had 2 categories of closed sessions tonight. Items 4A, 1, 2, and 3, there's no reportable action. And on item 4B as in boy, there's no reportable action. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, we stand adjourned at 5:08. Thank you.